Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. We are working on the horse track like we have been in the last couple of episodes. I absolutely love this project. I think it is awesome. It is so cool to have all of you involved in this as well. This episode we will do some building, but we have to start off with finishing this track really. There's a long way to go and I've made a start. I want to show you what I've been doing in between episodes. We have our horse friend over here. I like this horse. I don't know why I like this one, but he's not as fast as the others, but he's got a good jump, and he's only got 10 hearts, but I like this guy. Maybe we should name him, and that would be a good idea, because this guy probably isn't going to get blown up now that he's got himself some iron horse armor. But let's have a look at the track. Let me show you what I've been doing. This is as far as we got in the last episode. We constructed all of this. I had a lot of fun doing that. I do love building in this game. And anyway, so the track goes over in this direction. You can see I've been putting down posts on either side, doing a little bit of terraforming here and there as well, and it goes up round the hill like this. So we're just going to ride through this track and have a look at the surrounding area. There's going to be another opportunity for a bridge or something like that over here, and then on this side we have some really hilly areas, and there are actually some really cool terrain features. Like you can see some lava over there, there's some water nearby that as well. And unfortunately I spent a lot of time scanning all the different places around here, and some of the really cool different features I wasn't quite able to find a way to work that into the track. So the track goes through and between all of these big hills. So it goes up over here and then goes through this little valley bit. Well, it's like a mini valley. And then we go through some gravel, which is pretty cool. It's nice to go through these gravel patches, and I think all of the posts are again fairly well laid out, but they don't stand out or jump out too much. We will obviously come back and redo them like I've been talking about. Now on the other side of this hill there is some really nice terrain features, and I was going to run the track up the hill, except unfortunately there's nothing but a steep drop at the other side, and I really couldn't find a way to make a reasonable path, so unfortunately we're not going to see the nice terrain on the other side of that. But we come down here, round the corner, into another gravel patch, and then it kind of levels out around here. There's a few interesting terrain bits, but we kind of want to head in this direction now, because iJevin's new base is up his head. I think I just said up his head accidentally. His new base is up ahead, and his old one is behind those mountains. There are some really nice mountains over there, but they're very steep, and there's a gorge slash river that goes through the middle of it, and it kind of makes it difficult to build a path. So our path actually ended somewhere back there. We're going to be going off in this direction. I think I might have gone a little bit off from where I wanted the path to actually be, but basically it's going to come out somewhere over here. Now when I get to this area I'm going to do as little terraforming as possible, place not too many fence posts etc, because I don't know what iJevin has planned for this area. If he just wants to build down there, if he wants to build up here, then we should intrude on that as little as possible. So we're probably going to run the track just across here and around the corner, and then head off in that direction, which will be the end of all of these extreme hills. So I think what we need to do is scout out the area up ahead and find out what's over there. I know there are some different biome types, but when we're coming across here, iJevin should know. I'll let him know on Skype obviously. If ever he wants to move this, that is not a problem. He can remove as much of this track as he likes, and I will find another path for it to go, because this is his area. And of course I'm not going to section off any of these areas as well, because some of the hermits might want to start building, and if we get them building around here, that's not going to be a good idea, is it? So what I'm going to do is put down the rest of those fence posts leading up to somewhere around here, and then we can start exploring the area ahead. So I've been working away for an hour or so, and I realised that I've just been getting carried away with this, and I've completely forgotten to record and let you know what's going on. So let's head back in this direction, because I'm quite away from where we last left off. I've actually headed all the way past iJevin's area, and I have no idea where my horse is. I know it's tied up. I think it's tied up just over this hill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Ah, there it is. There's my horsey. And its lead has broke. That's probably because I've been going out of distance with the whole chunks unloading and loading thing. So somewhere around here is the end of this cave. Now I was going to put a path going around to the side, and as I was preparing that I noticed this cave right here, and it was perfect. It went right through down to the other side over there. So I decided to change the track. So when we last recorded we were around here somewhere. All of the fence posts have been put in place to guide the player into this cave. and then it's pretty clear where to go. You go through this gap down here, and then you can see all the fence posts guiding you around to the next area. So it goes round to the side, over the hill, back up to where I was a moment ago. And while I've been doing all of this, Corrales has been very kind and brought me over another shovel from my base because he was buying some materials from me. So I've actually made a load of diamonds without doing anything, which is awesome. And I don't have to travel all the way back because Corrales dropped off a shovel for me, which is very, very kind of him. But this is the track right here. It goes around to the side a little bit, and then when it comes back round to the other side, there is a forest which eventually meets up with this pine forest. And what I plan on doing is having the track run right through the middle. So on one side you're going to have a pine forest, on the other one you're going to have a regular forest, and that actually lasts for quite a fair amount of time. And then when we get to the end of that, there is not much of this track left. Now if you remember where we started, it is somewhere over in that direction maybe, and we've gone in a huge loop all the way out there and then all the way back down here, and now all we've got to do is head in that direction a little further and then loop back round. So it's really not much. I'd say we've done about 3/4, maybe 4/5 of the whole track, and there really isn't much left to do. But I am going to continue chopping down these trees. I think I will next record when I have that pathway done between the two different forests, because I can't wait to see what that looks like. I think it'll look really cool, you know, riding through and having two different forests on either side. It's going to look awesome. So once again, it's taken some time, but it is done. I am enjoying this project very much. So let's go through our path. I'm not actually sure how much of this you've seen, but I was talking about how these two different forest types connect together. So if we go through here and up over the hill, I think you've actually already seen this bit. But anyway, around the corner here there is going to be the other forest. You can see it there, just off in the distance. And this guy feels a little bit slower. I think that might be because of the armor. Let's take that off and see if there's any difference there. That's a myth-busting thing if I ever saw one. It does feel a little bit slow. I'm going to have to take that to the speedometer and test it. So one thing I wanted to point out is that we have a little bit of a river going through here, so I made it nice and flat. You can see there's loads of dirt on the bottom. I thought it would be a good idea just to have a little bit of water to go over to slow the horses down and to break things up. Then this goes around to the side. Again, you can see I've just been positioning the fences so you can kind of see this as you go around. And then we go between the two different forests, which I really like. This path is really cool. And we go around this little corner here. Then there's a bit of a tight area as we go up this hill, and then along here, and then down to the right, and then that is pretty much it. And I very much like that part. And this is a nice mountain. We have a good view of this, and somewhere over the back there I do believe is slip space. Now this area down here I haven't even explored it yet or begin to think about where the track is going to go, so there might be some interesting areas around here. I'm going to have to go and have a look, but it looks like there is some ocean over there, so we might actually be limited in our options. It looks like we're going to have to go over the top of this hill, so I reckon we should go up there and have a quick look. It looks like there's a river here. Okay, that's good to know. This thing is really steep, isn't it? So, a lot of time has passed by since I last recorded. The last video of Hermitcraft you would have seen was the April Fool's prank. We decided to do that, which kind of interrupted my recording here. And in case you didn't watch the last video, or you did and you want to know what was going on, we put a copy of this world onto a different server to have fun on there, you know, and do a really crazy, wacky video. So if you're a little bit confused by the last one, that's what it was all about. And if you didn't see it, then check the description box down below, because we had a lot of fun and a whole bunch of different hermits made videos for April Fools as well. But that has given me some time to, you know, work on this without recording and just get things done. And I thought, you know what, we need to finish this track, and we are well and truly almost finished. The entire path has been cleared. There are like literally one or two tiny things left to do, so I want to walk you through all of this. Now when we last recorded, I came up to this hill over there, and I was thinking about, you know, how can we get up there? Obviously building a bridge would have been the best of things to do, and I built this one right here. And I'm going to say it straight away, it is not the prettiest of bridges, but I really like it because I just went straight into it and built it. You know, I didn't go into creative mode or do anything like that, and I felt very comfortable putting this together. And as I said, it's not the prettiest of things, but it certainly does the job. If there was one thing I could criticize about this, I think it lacks a little bit of variety. You've got a lot of these wooden blocks here, and that could be something as simple as just swapping them out for another block type. But either way, it looks good, and I like the two little arches like that. I think that is very cool. So let's go across this bridge, and there is a lot to see ahead of us. This path is actually really long from this point. Now I think I said that we were about 4/5 done, and I decided to go the long way back because I did a little bit of exploring around this area, and there is some very nice scenery up ahead. In fact, some of the nicest stuff I've seen in the whole of this. So we're just going to go through this track, and hopefully you guys are going to be able to see the fence posts. I kind of laid them out where I think they're most visible and can guide the player, although it's kind of difficult to do that when you're the one placing them down, because then you know where to expect to see them. But we go through one of these taiga forests right here, and you're going to see a lot of ferns. And one thing I've noticed is that there are tons and tons of ferns if you have a look. There's even lots of these tall ones right here, and I think I might grab some shears and go hunt them all down and just stock up on them sometime, but that's a good place to go and grab them. So it goes down here, and again we go between a forest and a spruce wood forest on the other side, and then we come out to this area, and there's nothing too special to report about here. You can see I've been doing a lot of terraforming. You should notice that because a lot of these hills are kind of lined up with the paths, so they're opposite them and you can clearly see where you're supposed to go. So this has taken me a lot of time, but because we did that April Fool's video, I was just doing this in between, and it meant that I could get a lot more done for this episode, and we're going to be doing some building in a bit as well. Now this is where things get really nice, really nice. Look at that, that is a lovely hill, and do you know what I'm thinking now as I look at it? The longer you stay in this area, the uglier that will look, because Endermen will go around, they'll teleport on top, and they'll start taking blocks and placing them down, and then you'll have all of those ugly little gaps, but as of right now it looks really good. This is a really nice, like, extreme hills formation around there. And that water was natural. I saw it like that, and I said to myself, the horse path has got to go right alongside this, which it does. And it goes over here, and you might be able to tell, with this patch of gravel that under there's some water. Been filling in all of those little water patches. And then we go around the side here. So somewhere back there, where we were a moment ago, the ideal path to taken would have been to the left and just go straight across back to the racetrack. But because of this, I decided we should head all the way out here, go all the way around and come back the long way. And it's also night time now, so I think I need to just hop into my bed and make it day again. So I've said that we were going to do some building today. We will get to that shortly. We're just going to look at the rest of this track first of all. There have been some really fantastic suggestions for things to do on this horse track, I've got to say, and we're going to do one of them straight away. I'm actually talking to a build team at the moment who are going to build this thing for me in creative mode, and then I'm going to rebuild it here on Hermitcraft. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think you're going to love it. So there's not much left of the track now, really. If we go up here, this bit took quite a while to terraform. There was this nice natural inlet here, but then I had to make it so you could ride up it with a horse, and that took a little bit of time. And then this is as far as I've got with this little bit of the track. Now when we get up here, there are some really interesting formations and really beautiful extreme hills biomes around here, but there's nowhere to really take the horse track without it being quite intrusive. Now we could have gone over in that direction and around the back, but that would have been a lot of work. And I looked down at this river and I thought, you know what, I just want to do something a little unusual and unexpected. And what we're going to be doing is putting lava on top of this water and turning it all into stone. So we're going to have a stone river here which will make a perfect path for the horse track. Now picture yourself going through this. It is going to look amazing looking up and seeing these gorges. This is going to be like the finale of the racetrack, and we're going to fill it up with stone all the way to the side over here. So this is the kind of path we're going to be taking. And then when we get to this bit here, we're going to put dirt on the other side, just so it's a little bit different. So over here, all of this is going to be filled in with dirt, and that is going to be a really cool finale, I think, because after this, there isn't really much else to see. So when we come out here, I'm going to fill all of this in with dirt so we can go around to the left. Don't fall into the water, no. And we will go up this hill. We're going to have a village on our left, so another opportunity here if someone feels like doing some building and expanding this village, then there's something we can do. And then the rest of this, I've got to admit, is a little bit boring, a little bit dull, because we've seen a lot of this kind of terrain already. We just head back through these plains next to this forest. We got a tree cow over there. Oh, actually, I saw a tree cow the other day, and then I thought about giving it the name Treacle, because it kind of sounds like tree cow. Tree cow, treacle. Anyway, so yeah, we go over here, and then this is about as far as I've got, really. There's a little bit of a river, and I put down some gravel going across, which was one of the suggestions on the previous video, actually. Not the prank one, the one before that, that when we have water crossings, we should put down gravel. And I haven't tried this with my horse yet, so let's see what happens when we go straight down the middle. Look at that, we go all the way across, and that is pretty much as far as I've gone. So I don't think I'm going to be showing you this again, this horse track, or at least me building on it. That's going to be it for now. All I've got to do is put down some fence posts around here and make the track go up this hill. So I've got a little bit of terraforming to do, and then it will come out the other side here where we will go back onto the horse track. So I'm going to put down some signs that point to the left to say for people oncoming that they need to go this way, and then when you come back you're just going to head straight on and all the way down here, and that is the horse track finished. So I'm going to do those last little bits and then we're going to move on to our building. Done enough talking about that for now, so I will crack on and get it finished. So I've finished building the horse track. We're not going to talk about this anymore. I just wanted to show you the signs. You can kind of see the arrows going to the left there. And I've done a little terraforming behind here, but that is the horse track finished. We are now going to move on to doing some building. Now there have been tons and tons of suggestions on my videos and also on the G+ community for things that we could build on this racetrack, and there are loads and loads of really good suggestions. I've been writing down all of my favourites, and this first one that we're going to do is really awesome. It's such a wacky idea and I really like it. So let me explain. What we're going to do here, right at the beginning of the track, is have a horse head come out of the ground, and we're going to ride through the mouth of the horse and out the other side, which will probably be the back of its neck or something like that. And it was just such a wacky idea. I really liked it. I knew I was going to do that one. However, I didn't think I could do the idea justice, because I could probably do some sort of blocky looking horse, which probably wouldn't be the best of things for this, and I thought maybe something natural would be better. So I got in touch with a build team called Sunfury. Now some of you have probably heard of them because they're quite big on Planet Minecraft and they've won some competitions on there. They have a whole bunch of fantastic builds. You should go and check them out. There'll be a link in the description box to their Planet Minecraft page. I got in touch with them and they said that they would make me this horse, which was really awesome. And I've already seen it because they've already built it, and now what I have to do is rebuild it here on Hermitcraft. But you guys are going to love it. It looks so wacky and crazy, and it's a lot of fun. But the first thing that I got to do is go and gather some resources, because we're going to use a lot of materials to build this thing. So where are we right now? Obviously we are in a mesa biome, but if you haven't seen this before, this is Corralis's mesa biome. And Corralis is a wonderful builder. I do love it whenever I come down here, which isn't very often because it is a long, long way away. Now we have, I think, 2 mesa biomes that have been explored. One of them is for going to and harvesting blocks, and the other one is Corralis's, which we're supposed to preserve. But I don't know where the other one is, and I've come over here to mine some blocks. Now I've done that before, and what I did is I actually hollowed out the inside of this mountain over here. I think it was this one. And we're here because we need a lot of hardened clay. Let's have a look. There you go. Yeah, look, this is where I came before to get some. And we do need a lot of resources. Let me just grab my ender chest and I'll show you. We have ourselves some magenta stained clay for building, some white stained clay. We need a lot more red wool. I need to get that on the way back. There's a few other materials, but the main thing that I need is some light grey hardened clay. And we need a lot of it. We need, I think, 12 stacks or 770 blocks, so I've got a lot of resource gathering to do, which is why I came over here, and I thought I'd show you the place just in case you hadn't seen it before. But we're going to be going in here. I haven't got any torches. I guess I could put down some glowstone and just pick it up with a silk touch, so I'll be able to see what I'm doing. But I'm now going to be gathering some resources, and it's going to take a while, but when we've got that we can dye them and then we can start work on building. So we are back at the 1.7 Hermit Town, and I've got all of the materials together. I thought I'd let you know. It took me quite some time to get the light grey stained clay, as you can imagine, but we've done all of it now and it is time to build it, which I've actually started doing a little bit of this right here. So we at the moment have the tongue and the lower jaw, and I gotta say this tongue looks kind of ridiculous because it stretches all the way down here. Now it looks like it's really big, but when you see the rest of the build around it, it is going to make a lot of sense. But this is really cool. I'm actually looking really forward to building this now because I've seen it in creative mode. It looks really good, but once it's here in survival on our server, then it's there to stay and people will see it all the time, which I think is awesome. So there's not much more to say. I've just got to continue constructing this, and I might actually go and build the whole thing, or I might give you an update. I don't know at this point. If it takes me some time, I'll probably record a little update in between, but we have everything we need, so I just got to crack on and build it. So take a look at that. Doesn't it look awesome? Doesn't it look derpy and hilarious? I love it. It looks so cool. And that is of course just a part of it right there. You can kind of see some is missing on the other side. This is actually really slow to build. And the reason why is because when you're in creative mode, you're flying around at it, it's really easy to get to all the different areas and look at it, and then when you come back to survival you forget that it's really tedious having to climb up and down on blocks and placing them, but we are making progress. You can see what's going on here. You can get a good idea of how it's going to look. However, this is mostly the outside, and there's a lot to go on the inside as well. It's not just going to be an empty shell like it is at the moment. There's going to be some detail and colour on the inside, but it's going to take me quite some time now. It really will, and I just got to crack on and get it done, haven't I? So let's continue building. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks so derpy. That is so awesome. And it is not finished. It is not finished. No, but I had to record it. Now that I've done the exterior, it looks so good. I think people are going to love it coming up to this and seeing that. They're going to be like, what on earth is going on here? Although one thing I've got to say, it looks a little better when you're up by about 2 or 3 blocks, because then you can kind of see the eyes more. So maybe what we want to do when we get round to building whatever's going to be in this area is have a little bit of a platform that you start on, so you can see that it's a donkey. I think it's supposed to be a donkey. So we've got the inside of the mouth to do. This is what it looks like in here. And I was thinking, you know what, we could build like a little secret room in here or something. But then, now that I've said it, it's not going to be a secret room, is it? And I have no idea what I would use that for. But basically, there's going to be a bunch of empty space up there, which I'll probably just put torches in so mobs don't spawn on them. And that actually reminds me of an interesting problem that I keep mentioning to myself and then ignoring the problem. But basically mobs are going to be able to spawn on this, and we need to put some lighting on it. Now we could put torches on it and it would probably look ugly, but I'm thinking there's probably some strategical positions we could put some glowstone and stuff like that so it's out of view. But I don't know how long that will take to figure all of that out, because there's quite a lot of like area to cover here, so I'm not sure if we'll do that today. But we are going to finish off the inside now. It really has taken me a long time to do this. It's quite difficult copying, but we got there. We've only got a little bit more to go, and then this thing is finished. And here come the zombies. It is daytime. The sun is rising. I just had to sleep because of the amount of mobs around here. It's kind of difficult to record when you're getting attacked a lot. I have put some glowstone on this guy, and at night time he kind of illuminates up a little bit. Although the glowstone is only on the top and not on the sides. There probably was a couple of places I could have put it, but I didn't want it to be too visible. But this thing is at least a little safer for now. And I have finished the insides, and I think the inside look really great. Look at that. That is ever so cool. And we are yet to ride a horse through that, so we should be the first. Let's go and grab our horse. And I tell you what, Sunfury done a fantastic job on this. They put it together in no time at all, really. I asked them one day, and then later on that day it was finished, and it was exactly what I asked for, something real derpy and humorous, and yeah, I'm very pleased with that. But anyway, let's ride through it. This is awesome, and that is how our races will start, with a load of people trying to cram themselves through that. I guess they could go around it as well, and they're getting shot at, I think. Yep, look at that guy over there, hiding under the tree. Let's kill him. Oh, 1 shot, 1 kill. And then when you come back the other way, this is what it looks like. There's some glowstone on the back there as well, but I put it in places where you can barely see it, which is cool. And you can come back this way as well, which I think is awesome. I am very pleased with that. Again, all the credit goes to Sunfury. There's a link to their Planet Minecraft down in the description box. Be sure to check that out. But for this episode, we have done our building. This took a lot of time. It's really difficult to build, as I described, copying something from creative into survival. But there is one more thing that I want to do this episode. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but I think it's important that we do this. Now, after we put down these sections, I realised that we made about, I think, 13 sections in total, and no one's claimed this one yet. And I realised that they're all kind of squashed together, and maybe what we should do is focus on some areas where there's space to build, and maybe have those 13 spread out throughout the whole horse track, because there's some areas where we probably wouldn't want people to build because of, the surrounding terrain being really nice as it is. So that is what I'm going to do. I think I'll leave this first one here, but I'm going to go around and take down some of the later sections and just move them along further along the track. So I've taken down the blue and white section that was here, and I'm thinking this is going to take a long time again because you have to travel around the place, and I really need to just wrap up this video at the moment so I can upload it to YouTube. So I'm going to be doing that in between episodes. There's nothing too exciting to report about with this. I'm literally just going to be moving these further down the track. I think this one here would be quite an interesting place to build, so we will leave that one for whoever wants to claim this area. But that is going to be it for this episode of Hermitcraft. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. It will always be appreciated. And if you want to post your ideas, and that guy's going to get knocked off. Sorry, buddy. If you want to post your ideas for things to go on the horse track, there's a link to the G Plus community in the description box down below. But that is it, so as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.